Tonight we made a stir fry. I have cauliflower rice over here, and I'll have my tutorial on how to make that up in the cards. And the stir fry is made with carrots, zucchini, bok choy, and shrimp. Since you can't use soy, and my body just doesn't do well with soy anyway, you can use these raw coconut aminos and Chinese 5-spice for flavoring, and salt and pepper to taste. Alright, wanted to show you guys one of my go-to lunches that I have been eating a fair amount of with different variations. So basically, it's just some sort of lunch meat wrapped around some sort of vegetable. So, what I have today is this prosciutto, and I found one that is nitrate and nitrite free. And when you look at the ingredients, it's just pork and sea salt. And pretty sure, yeah, it's raised without antibiotics. It's a really good source. I got it from our food co-op. And so as you see, I have one little wrap here. And inside I am putting tomato from our garden and some of our homemade pickles. And I just wrap it up and eat it like a wrap. And I'll make a few of these to eat for lunch. And like I said, you can do any sort of variation on this, you know, turkey, roast beef, ham, as long as it's coming from a lunch meat that is a really good approved source. And you can put any kind of veggie in here that would be a good flavor combination. I mean, you can pretty much add anything in here. So this is pretty simple. Don't really have to think to make this. You know, you just grab a lunch meat, you grab a vegetable, and just roll it up. It's easy. I've been eating this a lot for lunch lately. All right, here's been a go-to breakfast of mine. I made a huge batch of bacon one evening and just put it in the fridge so that I could warm up a few pieces every morning, and this has been lasting me a good week actually. And here is this sweet potato toast that everybody has been so curious about, where you just slice up pieces of raw sweet potato and put them in your toaster. I found that it actually works a little better putting it in a toaster oven versus an actual toaster, because the pieces can kind of get, you know, they can kind of fall down in your toaster a little bit, but it does work in your toaster too. I did try it. They're just a little harder to get out of the toaster. And also found that you have to put it in twice in the regular toaster. So, but it does work. So having that with a little bit of coconut oil and salt on it, it doesn't actually resemble real toast, but it does taste good, and it's an easy, fast way to get some starches in you, and it tastes good. And I'm having my daily banana with it as well. Another variation that you can do with this sweet potato toast is to put nut butter on it and a little cinnamon. And that can go with breakfast, or you can eat it as a lunch, or have it as a snack, or a side with dinner, or whatever you want it to be. I mentioned this in my Costco haul. I am a total convert to this stuff. This nutso. I'll show you the ingredients again. I showed it in the Costco haul too. But it's cashews, almonds, Brazil nuts, flax seeds, chia seeds, hazelnuts, and pumpkin seeds, and sea salt. And I don't know if I'm ever going to go back to any other nut butter or peanut butter or anything, because this stuff tastes so good. The seeds that are in it give it this amazing, like, gritty, crunchy texture, and the flavor, oh my god, it's so good. So this has definitely been one of my go-tos, is having the sweet potato toast with the nutso on it, or putting it on apples or bananas, that kind of thing. Wednesday night is a BLT salad. I have arugula and tomato and bacon that I had left over that I made the whole big batch of. And I'm just putting organic olive oil and the raw apple cider vinegar. And could also add avocado if you wanted, any sort of vegetable that would go well with these flavors. Here is dinner for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I made a Whole30 compliant stuffed peppers recipe. And I kind of just winged this recipe because I've done this a lot before, and I'm pretty familiar with it. And it's basically, I believe it's the allrecipes.com stuffed peppers recipe, but I substituted the beef for ground turkey, and I substituted the rice for the cauliflower rice that I made the other day. I'll have my video on how to make that up in the cards here. And when I was at the natural food store, I found a tomato sauce that has no sugar in it, so I was able to add that. And for the sauce to put in it, I just used the Dijon mustard that I got, and for spices I added in salt and pepper and parsley, a little bit of chili pepper, garlic, and onion. So it's basically just You brown the turkey and then just mix all the ingredients together in a bowl, stuff it in the peppers, and bake at 350 for an hour. As you can see, the yellow ones here, my husband insisted that he wanted actual rice in his, and we happen to have leftover rice. So I told him if he wants to have separate ones, he's welcome to mix it along in a separate bowl with me. And so he did. So he mixed his own. So that's why they look a little bit different. And we just had him take the yellow ones so we can know whose is whose. And in addition, over here, I just did a bunch of roasted vegetables. And this was insanely easy. I just chose all vegetables that required 0 chopping. I have Brussels sprouts and asparagus and baby carrots, and that is it. I just dumped them in there and I melted a little coconut oil and poured it over, and I ground some pink sea salt over it, and that is it. So these should also be good not just for dinners, but I can munch on these for lunches. I can even add them into breakfasts too. I just wanted to make a huge batch of roasted vegetables just so I can have them on hand to eat and add to meals.